What's up, boys? Road to Lamborghini episode 11. I've got the tripod. I think this setup's actually better. This is sick. I never thought of using a tripod. But anyway, what a day. What a day it's been, boys. Did a lot of stuff actually. I actually got a lot of work done. So I'm quite proud of myself. Not as much results as I wanted, but that always comes with time, and that's God's timing, and God's timing is perfect. So we'll see what happens. But I think that was one of the things I wanted to speak about in this Road to Lamborghini episode is like, people used to fight in wars, right? And not even that long ago, right? Like, people always talk about wars, and I realized, I clocked it yesterday, because obviously people are talking about World War III and stuff. I clocked it yesterday, I was like, bro, the last World War wasn't even that long ago. Like, it was 1945, right? That is not that long ago. Like, that's like 70 years, which might sound like loads, but that's not that long ago at all, right? So anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, like, for me, so basically what happened, right, is I had 5 booked sales calls. One of them didn't turn up. The other 4 did turn up. Like, I like to take accountability, so I'm gonna say my closing skills are a bit rusty because I've been in Lisbon, I haven't been taking many calls, and I just haven't been in the full rhythm, right? And I haven't been educating myself as much as I used to about closing, which always helped with sales calls because it gives you a different energy knowing that you're literally learning how to take them and how to close them. But anyway, we didn't close any of them. And I was getting a bit annoyed. That's another thing. Like, my energy was messed up because I got annoyed after the first sales call, and that led to the next sales call. Right now, I just went out for a bike ride because I haven't been yet today. But yeah, like, I know exactly what to do. This is the whole thing about life, is like, a lot of the time you know exactly what to do, you just don't do it. And like, me suffering from, oh no, I had 5 sales calls today and I didn't close any, new clients. And what? Like, who cares? Like, bro, people used to fight wars. Like, who cares about 5 failed sales calls, right? Like, I heard one of my mentors said, you won't care about a failed sales call when you know that in the future you're going to be worth 100 mil, right? And that's like such a cliche, like, exaggerated sort of thing to say, but it's true. It's like, why would you care about one little thing if you know in the future you're going to pull it off? The only reason you'd care about small things in life is when you don't believe that you can pull off, right? And there's 2 things I want to talk about. I'm writing down. So, firstly, right, a quote which says, hold up, 3 things. Bear with me. Also, by the way, on a side note, complete side note, I'm planning to be doing way more, like, business content, like, more specific stuff. Because one of my clients was like, by the way, when I started working with you, I wasn't even sure, because I was like, you don't post as much business stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's actually true. Because I have so much business wisdom, like, that's why my clients get insane results. I just don't post it. All my stuff is just motivational, authentic. But I'm going to start doing YouTube videos, like, longer form, on, like, more specific stuff, right? Like, for example, how to book appointments for Instagram, or how to optimize, or whatever, like, all of this jazz, right? But yeah, let's talk about this, right? So, first thing is a quote I saw on Twitter, which says that, it's a very famous quote. I think it's by Young, right? Is it Charles? Not Charles. Something Young. He's a famous philosopher. I can't remember his name. I think he's Chinese, right? And it says, we suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality, or something along those lines. And it's very, very true. Like, we suffer a lot more in what we think might happen than actually what happens. Like, have you ever had, right? I used to have this a lot in school, right? Now I've completely finished with college as well. I finished 10th of June, so it's been about 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks on the dot today. Right? Yeah, it is, because it was only Tuesday. But, like, when I was in school, I'd have so many times where I'd get in trouble with the teacher, and I'd be really scared, because they always used to do a thing where they, like, call your parents, right? Especially for something bad, which I used to do a lot of bad stuff, to be honest, which I'm not very proud of. But anyway, they'd call back, and I'd be panicking the whole day, right? The whole day. And even when I got home, I'd explain to my mum, because my mum always liked me to tell her, because I got in trouble a lot, right? I wasn't the best kid. And she liked me to tell her before, she got a random phone call by, like, the head of Europe, by the head teacher. Anyway, I used to tell her, and then I was really freaking out. I was so scared, and it always ended up being better than I thought, right? Not meaning I didn't get punished or I didn't get, grounded. I mean, my mum didn't really do grounded. It was more like she just took my phone, right? Or she just, really shouted at me. And because I had respect, even though I wasn't the best kid, I had respect for my mum, which is, I think, every single kid should have, very high respect. I felt bad when she shouted at me, right? Like, I was disappointed in myself. Even if I didn't admit it, I was disappointed in myself. I didn't feel good, right? Because it's your own mum. But anyway, the point is, like, you suffer more in imagination than actually what happened, Right? Have you ever had like something where like you're really scared about the future, and then a year later you're like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. Like, why was I worrying? I wish I just didn't worry. I wish I could speak to my younger version of myself and say not to worry. Right? And that's the thing. It's like, bro, your younger version of yourself is counting on you. Your younger version of yourself is looking up to you right now and counting on you to take the right action. Right? And your older version of you is looking back and thinking, why are you worrying so much? Like, as long as you keep on going, as long as you keep on going, you're going to win. Like, it's literally guaranteed. I said it to a client today. If you win in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 1 year, or 3 years, it doesn't make a difference because you're going to win anyway. It's just about the intensity at which you operate, which is going to decide how quickly you get results. Okay, so that was the first thing, right? Like, stop worrying so much. Actually focus on the physical thing. Okay, what is happening in my life? I don't have enough money. Okay, how can I fix this? Well, let me get a part-time job so I have some cash flow coming in and I keep myself a little bit busy. And then let me start an online business. Okay, this online business didn't work. Okay, cool. Let's reflect. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? Okay, perfect. Let me try this online business. Have I got a mentor? No, I don't. Well, then obviously I'm not going to win. Like, just literally take it step by step and you're going to win. By the way, brand new watch. This watch is ridiculously beautiful, right? Tiffany blue Casio watch. It's beautiful. But anyway, that was the first thing. Second thing was about belief. And I've spoken about this many, many times, so I'll touch on this quite briefly, which is about like beliefs dictate your reality, right? Like everything you believe happens in reality. Like today I saw in Outsmarting Reality, it spoke about, which is the book I'm reading right now, it spoke about like you need to fix your beliefs around the things which you want to improve in your life. If you believe that, if you want to make more money, you need to believe that money's easy to come by, right? And money comes by to you a lot. If you want to fix your health, stop believing that you're unlucky or you're always getting unhealthy. Because if you believe that, then that's what's going to happen, right? Meaning your frequency. So this is a really interesting thing. Your frequency and your beliefs, they're very similar things, right? But your frequency and your beliefs, how do I explain it? It's so hard to put into words, this sort of stuff, because it's something you can feel, something you can understand in your subconscious, but it's hard to understand in your conscious through words. But your beliefs and your frequency over a long enough period of time mold into your reality. So it's like the longer your frequency and your beliefs like stay a certain way, the more they mold, right? It's the same way, like, for example, think of it like cement, right? If you put cement or tarmac, whatever you want to call it, in the road, right, which is what makes up the roads, if you put it there, and you put the tarmac there or cement for like 30 minutes, right, compared to 7 hours, then it's going to be a lot more like molded in. Exact same thing with your beliefs. The longer you let those same beliefs, I guess, marinate, or the longer you let those same beliefs, and the longer you're in that same frequency, which comes from your thoughts, that's what's going to happen in your reality. So the longer that you believe you're unlucky, the harder it is to reprogram that. And also, not even the harder it is to reprogram, because you can reprogram quite quickly, but the more your life is going to be heading in that direction. So if you always believe that money is hard to come by and that you're broke and your family's always been broke and that rich get richer, the poor get poorer, then that's what's going to happen in your reality, and that's what you're going to see. So you need to fix your beliefs and you need to change your frequency, which all comes from your thoughts. Fix your thoughts and you'll fix everything else. Your thoughts can be fixed by literally actively thinking of different things, reading books, getting around the right people, changing your environment. When you change your environment, you basically start from square one. Right? Because in your current environment, everything around you, you don't understand how much it affects you. You need to change the way, the place you're in, right? That's what's going to massively affect your life. Like, you hear it so many times, high school dropout or a college guy or a 19-year-old or a 21-year-old moves out of his parents' house, 12 months later, he's a millionaire. Why does that happen? Because he changed his environment. Everything changes from that, right? Next, last thing, right? What if you always worked even when you didn't feel like working? Right, I saw a thing on Twitter. I can't remember exactly how it went. This was another Twitter quote, but it basically said, like, imagine where you'd be if you worked even when you didn't feel like working. Right, and like it's so true, because when you feel like working, it's easy to work. Right, or when you're like in that middle neutral ground, it's pretty easy to work unless you're like completely undisciplined and you're in a rut. But as long as you're pretty disciplined in that moment in time, you got a little bit of momentum, it's quite easy to work, even when you maybe don't fully feel like working, but when you're like neutral. But when you really don't feel like working, like, you know what I'm talking about, whether it's like a dopamine crash or you're tired or whatever happens, or you just feel unmotivated, you haven't been getting results recently, if you can work even then you're going to be unstoppable. So keep on grinding and learn how to work when you don't feel like working, because if you can do that, then you literally are guaranteed to become successful. Because the difference between winners and losers is, can you work when you don't feel like working over a long enough period of time or over a long period of time? And if you cannot, then you'll consider a loser. If you can, you're going to be a winner. Very, very simple. But yeah, last time, quick watch flex. But with that said, that's pretty much the end of this episode. It's pretty late recording. It's like almost 10 p.m. But I got to catch some sleep because I'm waking up at 6:55 again. So I'll see you boys tomorrow.